The solution to your problem will be found when you stop focusing on other people's problems. And I'm not talking about you focusing on them in a good way. Nah. I'm talking about you being judgmental. You're not trying to help nobody. Who you trying to help? But yourself. But yeah, your solutions will be found when you stop focusing on how they're trying to go about getting their solutions. Remember that. Because who are you to judge somebody else's approach to their life? You can't do that. You cannot do that. So we have to focus on our own approach. I have to focus on my approach. Listen, you can't approach my solutions for my life. You can't do that. And you definitely can't focus on my approach. You may not like my approach. You may not think my approach is correct, but I look good. I feel good. I feel like I'm going in the right direction. Come on now. So you don't need to be focusing on my approach. I said it. Yeah, I said it. I'm not understanding. How do you expect to find solutions for yourself when you're so negative and critical? You criticize everybody. You criticize everything that everybody does. Oh, look at the way that he dresses. Look at the person that she's in a relationship with. I can't stand what they do with their money. It's their money. What you gotta do with their money? That's And then you wonder why solutions ain't coming to you. Well, it's because you keep pushing them out. Because you focused on too much stuff. You got the wrong focus. But let me talk about the topic of this video, though. That's not the topic. The topic is hired guidance. I want to talk about hired guidance because we all need guidance. I can't save myself from my own problems. I need guidance and guardians. Come on now. Listen, you got to stay humble. It's so many people that have gotten rid of their humility. And they just prideful. Listen, I'm always going to need guidance. No, hold on. It's not just me. We are always going to need guidance. We're always going to need guardians. Always. That's a fact. That's a true statement. But if we're not careful, we'll mess around and get the wrong guidance. Now, I'm not saying that everybody that you hire to give you guidance is wrong. No. But what I'm saying is some people that you hire, they will only do what's necessary to stay hired. That's the whole message right there. They just gonna do what's necessary to stay hired. They said, I have done my duty. I made you feel better for today. I'll be looking forward to that payment. Come on now. That's real. If that ain't the realest thing I ever said. You know, it's you don't always need to pay for advice. You don't. Sometimes you can get advice for free. I get advice for free from my teachers. I don't pay my teachers. No. So yeah, so hired guidance is it's good. Sometimes it's good to pay for advice. That's true. I mean, I sell books, so who am I to talk? But what I'm saying is you want to get advice from people that are going above and beyond. If you're paying them, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. You can do that. But it's just, you want people that go beyond the duty to get paid. You know, they're going beyond the tasks on the sheet. You know, they're going beyond the checklist. there are some people who will refuse to appreciate you no matter what you do. I said it. They will always find reasons to disagree with you. They don't care what you've accomplished. They do not care. They don't care what you do for them. They don't care. They will forget what you do for them. That's true. And then they'll start asking for more things. And it's like, I can only give so much. I only have so much. I only make 30K. Don't mind the noise in the background. They not focused on no money. I know they not. Yeah. But yeah, no, some people just will not appreciate you at all. You don't want to appreciate me? Do you know? We ain't even gonna go there. I'll say this as well. I think that sometimes people won't appreciate you because they've tried to appreciate people before and the people didn't receive it. You see that? You see how I just cleared that up? Because it's not always nefarious. Sometimes they tried to appreciate somebody and that appreciation was just thrown in the trash. And so, you know, there's no reason to try to appreciate when you've already gone through that. And I don't know if those people are focused on money. They could be focused on money. They might be outside talking about money. And I should be turning this off so I can go outside and, you know, jump in the conversation. Because then I can make more than 30K a year at my full-time job. I'm not mad about it. I feel good. Let me talk about what we're talking about today. We're going to be talking about a stormy life. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, a stormy life. I've noticed that a lot of people just want to get away from all their problems, you know. If I could just become a millionaire, I could pay all my bills and I would never have to worry about money ever again. Let me tell you something real quick. I know a couple millionaires. And the one thing I know about millionaires is they got bills too. They got bigger bills than us. Yeah, I said it. I just told the truth, just like that. That's crazy. I just told you the truth. It's funny because you think that you having $1 million is going to solve all your money problems. I'm going to tell you something. As a millionaire, you're going to have an assortment of bills. You think you have an assortment of bills right now? Goodness gracious, earn $1 million. Yeah. And you're going to be in an entirely different situation with entirely different bills. You know, the most my bills ever had was 3 digits. Hey, you know, I'm fine with a three digit bill. I'm fine with that. I can compute that. I can deal with that. But you give me a bill that's got 4 digits and that's a battlefield. I wasn't ready for that. And I've seen some of the financials of some people. And it was fantastic. Listen, discard that mentality. That's all I'm saying today. Discard that mentality. Let it go. Thinking in that regard. What I'm saying is this. We all have a stormy life. And what I mean by that is we all have opposition. It doesn't matter who you are. We all have opposition. So just, you kind of get to a place where you learn to love it, you know? And you don't really, you don't try to run away from the storm. You don't try to run away from the opposition. You overcome it. You go through it. You become stronger. I like that. That's powerful. You say somehow, even though all of this is going on, I got this. I know I do. You don't try to run from your stormy life. Not at all. Not at all. You stand strong through the storm. what happens when you start recording videos and putting on your watch and dressing a little nicer is that you start getting judged more. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? Well, people expect you to be perfect. When I wasn't doing nothing and I was quiet and I wasn't producing videos, you wasn't judging me like that. You wasn't criticizing me. But now that I'm doing videos, you say, well, you could do this better and that better and this better and that better. All right, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I have no negativity toward you, none at all. I have nothing but respect toward you because I am in front of the crowd. Even if the crowd is 3 people, I do not care. I still stay respectful. I'm very respectful because that's who I am. What happened to my nose? It's all good. We're gonna start. We're gonna put it right there. That's fine. But yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, those of us who produce things and we start to move forward with our productions, we start getting, the people want to hold us accountable and hold us responsible for things. And they tell us we need to be perfect in the way that we deliver messages and things. That's fine. That's fine. If you want me to deliver it better, write it for me. Create an outline for me. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. So whenever you start creating things and giving it to the public, yeah, they're going to hold you to a certain standard that they not even holding themselves to. Oh, did I say that? I said that? I think I said that. I said it. Yeah. I want to talk about something. I want to talk about the light of knowledge. And I actually want to read something real quick. I was reading my book, my newest book, Consumed by Courage, chapter 4. It's a fantastic chapter. Listen, I want to talk about the light of knowledge because the light of knowledge is this. When you start learning things, and then you start learning other things, and then you find out that you can put all these things together, it's so amazing how you can start, compounding the knowledge and creating ideas and concepts and things like that. That's my favorite thing to do in the world. I study, I meditate, I pray, I do my thing. Excuse me. If you remember when we were in kindergarten, we learned our ABCs. I was in kindergarten when I was 6. I think I was 6. And I learned my ABCs. And do you know, after I learned my ABCs, I was able to start creating sentences. I thought I was the man. You know what I mean? Come on now. I was reading sentences and then I started creating sentences. But I want to read something real quick. I hope I got time for this. We try to keep it to 5 minutes. I want to read something from my book, from chapter 4, Consumed by Courage. It's a rant, but I said this. I think this is kind of cool. I love reading my products. I read my own books. I called it a product like that CEO. That's cool. It is what it is. It's a product. I just don't have to eat it. So here's the excerpt. It says this. It says, even as kids, we learn literacy from our teachers, our mentors. Well, the pendulum is swinging and now we are adults. The times have changed, but the approach has not changed. We are still learning things. Just as you learn the letters of the alphabet in order to create sentences, you are now learning the laws of the universe in order to create situations. Come on now. That was in my book. I wrote that. When I wrote that, I said, whoa, let's go. You just trying to flip it like that? Okay. Yeah. Okay. I like that. So that's what we're doing. This is what I'm saying. The light of knowledge is this. It's so good to get knowledge because when you get a little bit of knowledge, like the ABCs, you can really start creating things just like that. It follows the knowledge. We've simply been running the race in the wrong way. It's the right race, but the wrong form. Come on, I'm about to go there. Yeah, I'm about to go there. I'm about to go there. Instead of trying to work hard to get somewhere, we're supposed to be appropriating states. And what I mean by that is, even before something is real or true, we step into it. If I'm learning how to play the violin, which I am not, because it's a little too tough. That's way too tough. But if I'm learning how to play the violin, I don't sit there working hard at the violin, trying to play the violin without appropriating being a violinist. No. Before I even take a lesson, I lock my mind into already being the greatest violinist ever. Stop playing with me. So even when I'm practicing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star as my first song, in my mind, I'm already visualizing I'm doing a concert because I've appropriated the state. Come on now. So we just been going about it the wrong way. This is why it's taking so long to learn things. It's not just because we're getting old. I mean, I'm getting old too, but it's because we haven't been appropriating the state. I want to share something with you real quick. Appropriation makes you different from everyone else around you. What do I mean by that? Well, I'll take an example from my own life, and I'll tell you that I make $30K a year, which is lower middle class. Yeah. But I tell you what, I appropriate the state of a millionaire. I appropriate the state of somebody who's already wealthy, right? And so because I do that, even before I've manifested it, my energy is different. I walk into the room, I feel good, I stand tall, my energy starts talking to the people. I've been in the room with millionaires, and they treated me like an equal because they felt the energy. Come on now. I've been in the movie. I haven't been in the movie, but I've been in the room with movie stars. Yeah. And they gave me the energy that made it feel like it was a reunion, like we was reunited. I'm like, wait a minute, why does it feel like this when we just met for the first time? And we smiling, laughing, sharing stories. Come on now. That's not the message of today though. Let me get to the message. Let's go. I just wanted to share that. Check this out though. It's important to be in virtuous company. And it's funny because we've heard people say things like patience is a virtue. Like, what does that even mean? I mean, I've heard that so many times. I don't know what that means. What does that even mean? I know what it means if you say that a McChicken is like $2. I know what that means, but I don't know what patience is a virtue means. What does that mean? Yeah, but you got to be in virtuous company. Virtuous company. And what I mean by virtue and virtuous company is just an example. That's all I'm talking about. Your ability to achieve bigger things is going to be determined by the examples that you have around you. If you only have examples of, things not going well around you, then yeah, you might step into situations where things are not going well. So you got to switch that up, and you got to make sure that you have some people around you that are virtuous. And by virtuous, I mean examples. That's all I was saying. That's all I was trying to say. I am trying to reach my goals. And if you are not being an example for me to reach my goals, then I just might have to remove myself from your presence. No disrespect, but I'm going to do it with the utmost velocity. And I mean that. I also mean no disrespect. There has to be progress. Always. There always has to be progress. Let me explain what I'm talking about. It doesn't always depend on you, because progress always happens. Every single day is getting closer to my birthday, and another birthday, and another birthday. That's called progress, I'm telling you. So if you are not careful, watch this. If you don't wake up and become alert, then progress is going to come when you least expect it. It's going to be a surprise. And if you make that type of progress, I'm telling you right now, it's not going to be the type of progress you want. You're going to be progressing in the wrong direction. Oh, that's bars. I think that rhymed. I don't know. It kind of rhymed. You're going to be progressing in the wrong direction. I like that. That's good stuff. I didn't even practice that. It's really important to keep interruptions to a minimum. If you're trying to get to your destiny and somebody's trying to interrupt your path, you got to point them you point them over there and say, you can go over there. You can't get in the way of this. I need you to not get in the way of this right here. I got things that I'm doing. I got methods that I'm trying to follow. I am trying to inform my life of what it needs to conform to. Yeah. So that's all I'm saying. There has to be progress. There has to be progress. I'm sorry. There has to be progress. And what I'm saying is progress is going to be happening. So just always be mindful of that. It's very important to be mindful of that. So check this out. Let me talk about something real quick. Today I want to talk about something. I want to talk about your results inspector, because that's who I am. That's who I am for you. That's real talk. My job is to come into your situation and tell you, hey, listen, things are developing in this way. If that's not the result that you want, then we're gonna have to go ahead and change things around. So check this out. Isn't it funny how restaurants have inspections, hotels have inspections, just buildings in general. Buildings have inspections because they have to live up to code. They have to be up to a certain standard. Isn't it funny how all of those places have inspections and standards that they need to be held to, but you're not having inspections about your life? Come on now. Oh, we talking. But that's what I'm here for. That's who I am. I am your results inspector. Listen, we got to keep evolving. I know people don't think that evolution is important, but we are a lot like Pokemon. We are. What is it called? Is it called an Everstone? If you have the Pokemon hold the certain item, they keep from evolving. Is it called an Everstone? I don't know. I've been playing Pokemon Emerald. Fantastic game, fantastic. I'm still a kid at heart. I always will be. But what I'm trying to say is, some of us are holding on to things that are keeping us from evolving. Oh my gosh. I saved that. That was cool. I saved that just like I saved the video game when I get to a point where I feel like I need to save. That was fantastic. Yeah. But we're trying to get results. We're not trying to play around. We're not trying to play around. This ain't a game. Life ain't a game. Like, this is real. You know, if you've been going 5, 10, 15 years without the results that you want, then sit down and talk to me. Let's do this. I'm your results inspector. Negativity is the first thing that I would audit in anybody's life. Sometimes when I'm around my friends and family, they get annoyed with me because if I notice negativity, I'll go ahead and karate chop it and be like, hold on now, we got to change this conversation. And that's when they get up and leave. And be like, boy, if you don't stop trying to act like you somebody, boy. all of us have a construction project that we working on. Come on now. I like this one. We all have one. Yeah, whenever I'm smiling this hard, that's when you know. I really don't know what I'm about to say, but I'm a bluff it anyway. But nah, check this out. Check this out. We all have, all of us have a construction that we're working on. Check this out. This is important. We're constructing our life. First of all, we're constructing our habits and our, our character traits. We're constructing those things on a regular basis by the things that we choose. And I'm gonna share something real important with you real quick. Check this out. Check this out. We can't bring our dream into fruition if we have the wrong people around us. And there's no disrespect in this. I just want to say this. All the people who are with me, they join me in the construction of my dream life. Come on now. And in the same way, I join them in theirs. Because it's not all about me. No. I do for them what they do for me. This is equal. This is reciprocity. Excuse me. This is reciprocity. Check this out. If we don't realize that we are constructing our lives, then we'll end up in a foreign place, somewhere that I wasn't trying to get here. How did I end up in the desert when I was looking for the rainforest? Well, it's because you didn't know that you were constructing your own life. Right. You voluntarily gave up control and somebody else piloted you to where you didn't want to go. So now you have situations that were not the situations that you wanted. Isn't that something? I want to talk about skill subterfuge today. That's what I want to talk about. Check this out. I want to talk about skill subterfuge. One of the things that really gets on my nerve is when people talk about algorithms and social media algorithms and stuff like that. I don't care about that type of stuff. I'm going to do what I got to do. And if it gets to you, it gets to you. I'm not worried about an algorithm. I see people running around worshiping the algorithm. Lord algorithm, how might I serve thee today? I hope I can flatter you today, my liege. Don't be too distant. No, I'm not. That's not me. I don't do that. My peace don't cometh from the algorithm. Nah, it cometh from the Most High. Let's go. This is not a religious channel. I just be talking. But yeah, now I want to talk about skill subterfuge because this is really important. Subterfuge is when something comes in and, it made its way kind of in disguise. It was deception. It was things like that. So it was deception. And so what I want to say is this. Skill subterfuge happens like this. You start off following the algorithm, right? And you're learning everything about the algorithm. Oh, what time should I post? How many hashtags should I use? How long should the video be? What is the angle I should use? How many sentences should I say in 12 seconds? Right. You get all those things down and you're spending years. You're spending days, weeks, months, quarters, years following the algorithm and following everything that the algorithm is telling you to do. Okay, well, check this out. After 3 years of following the algorithm, the engineer, whoever's sitting behind the desk, they change the algorithm. And when they do that, you're basically starting from zero. And that's not okay. You have increased in nothing. And you have to start all the way over. That is a hard path. And what happens is after those few years are over, you realize, wait a second. I could have been building skills instead of following the algorithm. And I'll tell you this too, check this out. While you guys were focused on the algorithm for the last 3 years, and I wasn't succeeding in the algorithm, I spent that same amount of time traveling interdimensionally. And y'all about to see what comes next. Yo.